Going. Today I'm gonna show some mistakes you're gonna find in Brazilian music in the real book. And the real book, it's a reference for a lot of musicians and also influences the Brazilian musicians. So you're gonna see some Brazilian musicians playing some wrong stuff or some simplified harmonies because they studied at the real book. This video is inspired in a video of Adam Neely about the Girl from Ipanema. He made a brilliant analysis, and who sent me this video was Chris King, that is helping me so much with sending these messages and comments for me about to improve this channel. So thanks, Chris, and let's start talking about real book. I imagine that a lot of you know the real book, and the real book was created on the 70s, if I'm not sure, but I think it's that, to help musicians to play in jam sessions. They just write the melodies and harmonies, and they could use to play in that jam sessions just to remember the songs, to remember some the different sections, and to unify the way they play some song. But there are a lot of missing points on the lead sheet, real book's lead sheet, and I think the goal of real book is not to have a lot of details. So I don't say that I don't like real book, because the objective, the goal of this book, it's just just to help the musicians. But a very interesting thing happened with the people that were born after the real book. I've lived in the 90s. I started to study music in the 90s, and so I've learned using real book, and I didn't have a lot of access to recordings, and I didn't know also about the importance of hearing songs before just using a lead sheet as a reference. I didn't have this idea clear on my mind, and so there are a lot of missing points that you can find in these lead sheets. So I'm gonna start showing some of them. In terms of harmony, there is a very interesting thing that Neely said in his video, that was about the perception of the American musicians about the Brazilian music, because they think the harmony in doing a lot of 2/5s, using the 2/5-1 progression. And there are some progressions in Brazilian music that are more than 2/5s. They are subtle harmonizations that sound similar to untrained ear, but who likes harmony, we're gonna realize the details, that can be a magic thing that exists in bossa nova. Adam Neely showed, for example, the first chord of the Girl from Ipanema that real book calls F major 7. In a recording of João Gilberto, he says Gilberto, but it's João Gilberto, the right pronounce. That it's not F major 7, but the first chord is F6, F major 6, with C on bass, without the third also. And when goes to the next chord, it's G7 with D on bass. So these details, as he said in his video, comes from the guitar played in the style that we call choro. The choro has a 7-string guitar that plays the bass, and it connects to the chord during the inversions of these chords. So you're gonna realize that the bass moves differently of what's in the chords written on real book. This is a very important difference. And let me show you some things about harmony, and after that I want to show one big mistake that you're gonna find in real book. So let's start by Triste. Triste has is one of the last Brazilian music songs in real book. I'm playing by heart. So this harmony I think this is what's written on real book. And so you're gonna realize I'm gonna go to F minor. I'm gonna, let me see a little here. I'm gonna start by the circled part. I prefer to use a Brazilian progression that is E minor, E half diminished, I'm sorry, E minor 6, D minor, C diminished, C sharp diminished, so the 2-5-1. So besides doing that, we're gonna change for this. And it ends on doing a 2-5. I prefer one more subtle turnaround that is played in the version of Elise Tone. That's F sharp major and B7 sharp 11. So besides doing that, here a little. So this is a change that I think it's much more inside the language of bossa nova. It's not wrong to do this harmony, but it has an American bias, all right, North American bias, and here we are putting this progression that sounds more inside the language of bossa nova, is more subtle, all right. This progression you can find in a lot of samba songs, and it sounds more Brazilian, alright? Nothing wrong with that, it's not a mistake, alright? After that I'm gonna show a mistake. Let me go to another song. Wave. In Wave I've circled 2 places. The first one, it's the introduction that people plays as D minor. Yeah, and I think this is a jazz bias also. This harmony sounds as 2-5. And I think Jobim thought on a modal harmony in this part, so it sounds like that. You have D minor 7, and after that E minor 7 with D on bass. You have a pedal point on the bass, but you move these chords, like the chords of So what? But in another inversion. You're gonna find this in the Afro Sambas of Baden Powell also, this kind of modal motion in harmony. And I've marked also a green part, and this is very interesting because I realized that new musicians often play it simplified, playing just during the 2/5s. So this is the B section of wave. As G minor 7, C7, and F major 7. F minor 7, B flat 7. And in this case, Real Book is right because it's doing some Brazilian inversions. This chord, I would think that we have another option. That is the a chord that here in Brazil we called the minor 7th chord with the flat 6th. It's like an inversion of F major with A on bass. So A minor 7 first choose and this chord. You have an F. Just hear the A minor 7, or now with an F. Sounds pretty, no? And after that we're gonna go to let me see. How did he write it? F minor. It's not appearing on the screen, but F minor, B flat with A flat on bass. So you're gonna feel this chord that's very common in Brazilian music. It's often used on the language of choro. So, besides, that sounds more jazzy, more inside the 2/5 progression. So, this is not, it's written right in Real Book, but I recommend you to pay attention, alright? So, correct this first progression. For example, I remind another problem. Because of this lead sheet also, one interesting thing that I didn't learn in a lot of songs were the introductions and the counter melodies. The counter melodies are an important part of the composition, and the introduction is also very important. And I just discovered this because I discovered this because I started playing with elder musicians that lived the bossa nova period, and when I started to play in my way, learned by the Real Book, they often asked me that what is this version you are playing? And I get a little angry because of this question, because I thought I didn't have to have one version of example to play, because this music is about freedom, it's about improvise, it's about and passing some years later, I've realized that they were right. And why they were right? Because I was playing much more simple the original version. There are a lot of details that enrich the song that I was losing because I didn't know the version. So some rich harmony that Jobim made, some interesting version that Gilberto's made, I didn't know because I was just reading some melody and some chords, and this is a very simplified way of understanding this music. This music is subtle, and if you don't know this, other thing what were the introductions of the songs, because I didn't know how to do the trio start playing with me. That in this place that I played, there was one rule that the musician couldn't make some counting to start. The pianist had to do some introduction, and all musicians understand this introduction and start playing. And I thought that all the introductions were improvised, but there were some ones that were improvised, but most of them were original and beautiful compositions of the real composers. For example, Desafinado has a beautiful introduction that it's like a verse that a few musicians know it. Let me play it to you. Continue playing, alright? But this, I realized that a lot of musicians don't know this part. It's a very beautiful composition by Tom Jobim that can be included like in the introduction of Desafinado. And I've heard a lot of people making very strange things at the beginning of the song, instead of doing this very rich introduction. Let me show you more material about the real book that's missing on real book. Desafinado has one missing point also. I'm not showing you. Desafinado has one system missing in it. When it goes to the second part, so we have this in A major. We have this descendant harmony, and in the real book that's going up. This is already wrong, and so we're gonna have another melody to do this. I'm sorry, let me play returning a little. One system, 4 measure, that I have seen a lot of musicians that ignore this, and we have lyrics for this. Isso é bossa nova, isso é muito natural, o que você não sabe. skip this part and no problem. Even I've seen this played by Brazilian musicians. So this is a thing that I want to help you with this video to finish with this mistake in music. This is the worst mistake that I've found. Alright? So let's see more. The Girl from Ipanema. The Girl from Ipanema, Adam Neely shows in his video this turnaround. I see many musicians doing this. So two fives, A minor 7, D7, G minor 7, and C7. And Jobim uses when he's playing the solo piano. It has much more to be with bossa nova. Adam Neely told that this turnaround is played on the version of Sinatra's, and I don't have this practice, but I see the musicians that are very committed with Brazilian music that they use this turnaround. Other thing that I think that's very interesting and very particular in the song is the three last the coda. And like Adam Neely told, bossa nova has something with blues, but it's not all the time. I think differently what he said. Bossa nova has just some how can I say, I forgot the word, I'm sorry, but he put some ingredients and a few ingredients of blues. For example, showing this progression, this fourth grade in harmony. What we're gonna hear, the clear blues, it's a style that we call here in Brazil of samba jazz. Samba jazz, it's an instrumental way of playing Brazilian music, and it's a instrumental style that the musicians use the samba beats or Afro beats with bluesy melodies. If you hear the original bossa nova, you're gonna hear just some ingredients of blues, but not all the time. They are very subtle. All right, we won't recognize blues melodies in bossa nova compositions, and just some phrases. For example, in wave. Hearing this, but the melody is very different from that. So you're gonna note some influence of blues, but not all the time. It's very subtle. All right. What else more I could show to you? Desafinado I've shown, wave, triste, and there is a chord of insensatez. That people plays as a C minor. this chord can be an F7. This also, it's a little transformed in a how can I say, in a 2/5 progression. It's similar more in this lead sheet. And another thing I want to talk about this and how it's sensitive. It's missing a counter melody. That it's a honor to the composition of Vinícius de Moraes and Baden Powell called Canto de Ossanha. So this is very an element that sounds, it's important to the song, is present in all the song, and people don't know that exists. And that is a beautiful introduction of Insensatis. I don't remember exactly, but I don't play so much. This is a song that I don't play so much, but there is a beautiful introduction also that people also ignore. So if you want a sound inside, I recommend when you learn the song, learn this introduction also. Alright? And I will start. One more thing I want to talk about that I think it's interesting, but to it's that many musicians, Brazilian musicians, are very worried with the counter melodies. And I was going to do a show with this show didn't happen, but I have a friend that is a arranger that invited some musician of bossa nova, some composer of bossa nova, to play with his orchestra, and he accepted the invite, and he told that it was important for him. He could create anything he wants, but the form of the song had to be the same, and also the counter melodies. So he could create, he could change the instruments, he could re-harmonize the songs, but he wanted to hear the counter melodies because they were part of his composition. And after this day, I started to realize that using just real book or some song books, you're gonna lose a lot of information that is essential to the song. Today we have some new books like the Cancioneiro of Tom Jobim or the songbook of Edu Lobo, that you're gonna find these important melodies written in another clef. But I realized that in a lot of places in the world, people play a simplified version of Brazilian songs because of the simplified version, or some chords that are missing, or what else. I think you understand me. So I hope this information is precious for you. I think this is very precious for me because I think that before we have some freedom with the song, it's important to all the joys that this song has. And sometimes we lose using this song. So I recommend strongly you can use real book to learn some song, but play together with the song. Search for the missing chords. Search for the details on the melody also, because you have a much more complete experience. And in this case of bossa nova, you are going to discover a lot of details that make this that create this magic in Brazilian music. All right, so I hope you have enjoyed this live and learned. I hope you improve your playing. If you have some doubts in another song or another Brazilian song, send me messages, and I'm very happy to have you as my audience. And I would like to thank again Chris King for the message of for the video he sent me. And thanks for watching. See you tomorrow for more lives about Brazilian music and everything related to you play with more authenticity. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.